Do I think there's a stigma in PTSD? Yes, definitely. From what I experienced while being active duty, after being diagnosed and trying to work and live the normal Army life and continue my career, it's hard when you have to leave to go to a doctor's appointment, or even just the simple fact of saying, hey, I have PTSD, but you may not, and you went to Iraq and you did some of the same things. Because it affects, they say now, somewhat, at least a third of everyone that comes back, but I heard reports, I read somewhere, 2/3 now, and a lot of them aren't seeking help, but you have a mission to continue, and you get looked down upon if you can't do that, or you have to pass the responsibility to someone else. Now in the civilian sector, I definitely think because the news only reports, most of the time, not every time, but about the bad things that happen. So you hear on the news, this man had PTSD and he shot this, or he did this, or she, or whatever the case may be, but so I definitely do feel that there's a stigma, and I'd like to change it by showing that even though we suffer from this, I like to think of someone who has alcoholism or depression. I mean, this is just everyday life. We've experienced something, and yeah, a lot of things become confusing when we don't know what's going on, but if we're educated and we know, then it makes it easier to deal with and succeed in life, I feel. I want to show that to everyone. If you have those goals, you can be in normal society. What do I think will remove the stigma against PTSD? Different programs where education is a big part of it. If you understand what's going on with you, if your wife knows what's going on with you, if you're educated about needing to know what it is to communicate with someone, education about different programs like PTSD groups, kind of like an Alcoholics Anonymous group or 12-step group. Those programs could be out there, and then we know the support is there. I think people would begin to change and understand that we aren't criminals or bad people. We've just been through a lot and don't know how to deal with it. And once we do know how, then we can be great assets to society. I think the VA is doing a good job. I'm new to the system. I know that there are support. I know that they have the OIF, OEF, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation New Dawn. PTSD clinics for just our population, which is a great step. I know here in San Diego they have Triple Threat, so it's people who have their groups, support groups that are not affiliated with the VA or DOD, but they go out on their own just like a regular 12-step meeting, and you have to have PTSD to get in, and some of them are OIF, OEF groups. I think it has to be in the leadership, not just the VA, but to the government in some way. Because now everybody's coming home, and the military is downsizing. So I know in my case, not having my battle buddies who were there with me, that was a big spark. And noticing the symptoms a lot more than before. And a lot of these troops coming home aren't going to have that because go our separate ways. But to know that there's programs out there, you have to be educated, and that would be a big part.